What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in to touch on the Witch Queen Legendary campaign, and why this is absolutely a piece of content worth looking to jump into with the launch of the new expansion. So we'll talk about the gameplay element for the new campaign, which is pretty challenging and gives a different feel to story content, so if you haven't played it should set you up a little bit for some of what to expect, but also we'll talk about rewards, which are a very big component of the new campaign. And for completing Legendary difficulty, there are guaranteed exotic drops and bonus reward chests which accelerate our players' power significantly. And so we're going to break it down in the video, but before we get into it guys, thank you to Bungie for sponsoring the video today as part of the launch of the Witch Queen expansion. And up until the 4th of March, they have an awesome Twitter contest taking place for the brand new Legendary campaign, where 1,000 players will be selected to win a unique Legendary emblem. To enter the contest, you need to bring proof that you've completed the Legendary version of the campaign by sharing a Twitter post with a screenshot of the completed in-game triumph for finishing the new difficulty, as well as a screenshot of your character screen with your Bungie nameplate visible. And be sure to add screenshots and not video clips. All posts need to be made on Twitter featuring the hashtag #TheWitchQueenLegendary in order to be entered. And on top of that, you need to provide a link to your Bungie.net profile and email address when you make the entry. And so to be in with a chance to win one of those emblems, follow the link in the description box down below, and all of the details are on the contest page. But now let's get into Witch Queen stuff and touch on the new Legendary campaign. But before we talk new content, we should mention that if you're a new or returning player, as you head into Witch Queen, every single player's power level is being automatically brought up to 1350. And so you'll be ready to dive straight into the new content without having to grind for power or better gear, and that includes the new Legendary difficulty. But another quick mention for returning players, if you want to recap on how this story has developed through year 4 leading into Witch Queen, Bungie have a really cool interactive Vanguard report trailer, which I'll link down below, and that sets some background to what we're doing in the Witch Queen story. Of course, part of the new approach to campaign in Witch Queen is the introduction of Legendary difficulty. Witch Queen's campaign in general does a really neat job of marrying dungeon-style content, such as secrets and encounter mechanics, with some of Destiny's best storytelling to date, in my opinion. And in terms of what players should expect from Legendary difficulty, the enemies definitely pack a punch, and with a contest-type modifier active, we're never able to over-level this content, so it's going to remain a challenge regardless, with each Legendary mission having a higher recommended power level than the previous one, and the final mission in the campaign on Legendary being at 1500 power, so I would say it's reminiscent of Grandmaster Nightfall kind of difficulty in general, meaning it will certainly require some time investment and coordination, either as a team or solo player, which are both viable options given that the difficulty scales. And when you do jump in, certainly be ready to take advantage of popular weapons like Tiku's Divination and Galahorn, as well as the newly updated Void 3.0 subclasses, which are really strong. And of course, if you fancy the challenge and can overcome it, the rewards in return are absolutely awesome. So throughout the missions, on Legendary, additional reward chests spawn for each encounter, and these are dropping more weapons and armor at much higher levels than on normal difficulty, which is a huge shortcut for reaching Witch Queen's soft cap, and also a great provider of infusion fuel. But an additional big bonus is that completing all Legendary missions rewards a full set of 1520 gear to bump you towards endgame leveling. Another big bonus here is that playing Legendary will also result in more craftable Witch Queen and Season of the Risen weapons with deep sight resonance. Basically meaning that we'll discover more crafting patterns and recipes, and get access to more crafting materials as a result of playing Legend campaign. And last but not least, another massive attraction for Legend mode include guaranteed exotic armor drops when you complete all 8 of the missions. So after finishing a full Legendary run, Ikora will offer a choice between the 2 new exotics for each class. So it's an extra route to brand new exotic armor, as well as upgrade materials, and an exclusive emblem, which is one of the nicest looking emblems I think we've had in D2. And so again, it's difficult to not recommend completing the Legendary difficulty of the Witch Queen campaign. And again, the cool thing is that we can jump in and complete it on normal difficulty, and then have the option to replay the missions via totems in the world and the campaign launch menu. So be sure to let us know your experiences with the Legend campaign, or if you're planning to jump into it down in the comment section. But now we've spoken about loot, let's touch on a few other things regarding the new campaign. And in terms of accessing the normal or Legendary mode, after jumping into Witch Queen and watching the opening cinematic, we get the choice to either start the campaign on normal or Legendary difficulty, and the game essentially remembers which difficulty we've selected, so if you select normal it will become the default for all of the other campaign missions, and the same can be said for Legendary. But after completing the first mission, the majority of campaign missions are launched via totems, and this allows us to select the difficulty of various missions. So when we open up a totem, we get a new activity UI, which is pretty cool. And of course, the launch screen has those two different options, normal and hard mode, and those will display all of the relevant modifiers and additional rewards. But the cool thing is you can replay any of these missions at any time via the totems. So if you complete a mission on normal mode, but then want to do the legendary variant, we are able to shift back and forth, meaning the harder difficulty is something that you can go back and revisit later if you want. But then in terms of gameplay, as Bungie told us, there is scaling for the new campaign missions. So if you're in a fire team of 3, it'll be slightly harder, but of course you can go solo, where it'll reduce enemies and enemy difficulty. On top of this though, in legendary mode, players can't self-revive, and if you're playing in a team, you need to revive downed teammates within 30 seconds, otherwise the team will wipe, so you're essentially in a permanent darkness zone. However, based on the rewards that we can get from legendary, I'd say the difficulty certainly matches up with that, being an additional route to unlock new exotic armor, as well as the new gear sets and additional rewards we mentioned a few moments ago. And so I absolutely recommend diving into the hard mode difficulty. And again, if you want to get more information about the Witch Queen expansion, be sure to check out the link down in the description box. The final mention right here, but Bungie's online charity event Game to Give is returning on February 24th. And Bungie used charitable donations to support disaster relief and humanitarian aid, as well as inclusion, diversity and equity initiatives, and their iPads for Kids program. And for making various different donations, you can unlock some pretty awesome rewards. So with that event going live shortly, I'll also link the Bungie Game to Give page down below. Thanks again to Bungie for sponsoring the video today, and to you guys for tuning in. If you've enjoyed it, definitely get subscribed so I can keep you up to date with more Destiny content. Also, let us know if you've gone into the legend mode of the campaign yet, or if it's something you're planning on doing a little bit later on. But otherwise, for today, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you guys very soon.
That's impossible. Is that a ghost? It can't be. Get me closer, Guardian. I have to see. I can't believe it. Is that ghost helping to hide? Stop its ghost. There's no other way. That thing is not like me. You see that, right? I can't believe this. We have to keep going. Oh, Traveler, what has she done to you?